Certainly 8 years ago, I don't think anybody saw us as a national championship contender. I mean, we were a solid program. You know, Coach Bowden never lost. We were a solid program, but we weren't a national championship contender. And to see what we've been able to do the last 8 seasons has been special. And it's just been, you know, one day at a time. That's why we always say, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. One bite at a time. You know, you can't get it done in a day. And so I think it would inspire a lot of other teams out there. And, you know, I think that, again, a lot of these teams that have these rich and great traditions of championships, they're not going away. But, you know, there's no reason why we can't be great at Clemson as well.
Do you think dynasties are bad?
No, I think it's great. I mean, I think anytime you have a program that can be incredibly consistent, I think it's a standard for all to study and to learn from. I don't think you can just, like, I couldn't do it Coach Saban's way. I wouldn't be successful. You know, he is who he is, and he has to run his program the way he sees it. I am who I am. I think at the end of the day, you got to be who you are. But I think when you see dominant programs, dominant teams, okay, well, it's great to learn from them. Maybe it's dominant businesses, because obviously there's been some good decisions along the way, and how they hire people, philosophies in place, cultures in place. You know, some places have more to work with than others. That's always going to be the case. You know, Nike's, they're not really worried about that really great, successful mom and pop business that's kicking everybody's butt in Florida. All right, but Nike can still learn from them, and those people can learn from Nike. You know, and you find the things that work for you and apply to what you do, and because at the end of the day, it should all be about getting better. You know, that's what the best of the best do. They're always striving to get better. I don't think you ever arrive. I think when you arrive, you get passed up. Complacency, and that's what I have such great respect for Alabama. I mean,
ladies and gentlemen,
they're never
there are
satisfied.
5 minutes remaining in the
They just
Clemson
keep
media
chasing
session.
greatness. And
5 minutes
that's a
remaining.
great quality to have.
Coach, when you
The road back home for a lot of guys. Deion,
Yeah.
Ray, some of these guys. What do you think that means for you to be able to watch them kind of take this into their own town?
It's special. You know, we've recruited a lot of guys from this area. You know, Jay Ron, Sammy Watkins from down here as well. It's really neat for them to have a chance to come back home. And this is a state that is critical to us. I mean, you look at, I mean, C.J. Spiller, the Brian Dawkins, all the way back. I mean, the state of Florida has been a huge priority for Clemson for a long time. And so to be able to play on this stage in the state of Florida, and for a lot of these guys to have the opportunity to come back home and play, I think it's pretty special.
Coach, how often?
What's that? Yeah, he's at a funeral this morning. His granddad passed away, and he's actually a pallbearer in the funeral, so he'll be back with us. Hopefully be back for the team picture this afternoon. But he's great. You know, Artavis from over at Tarpon Springs area, and just really has been an unbelievable player for us. Everybody talks about Deshaun, but Artavis graduated in 3 years too. And in 3 years, he's the leading receiver in the history of Clemson. We all know there's been some great ones come through, but this young man is an incredibly underrated football player that has grown as a man and has a bright future.
Coach, family is so important. We were talking to Coach Scott, Coach Elliott about their kids, how they're bringing them along, and they mentioned you.
Yep.
You say family's important. What about that?
We bring them all. We've got 59 kids, age 0 to 18 on our staff. So we got a fertile bunch at Clemson. But we bring them all everywhere. We go. We bring them. We load them up, we go. They all are with us. A lot of our kids, we have a certain age, they're on the sidelines with us. And I think that's awesome, because I think it allows our players to see us as husbands, as fathers, and it also reminds us when we're coaching those guys that, hey, our kids are watching. So we're always mindful of the example that we set to our own kids.
Coach, what does Coach Stallings mean to you?
He's like a father. He's a mentor. Been a great role model and leader for me. He instilled a lot of great qualities and toughness and work ethic. I remember in 1990 when I kind of broke through and actually became a first team guy for a little while, mostly second team, and you know, I thought I was to get my scholarship right then, and he told me I hadn't earned it. You know, he just instilled a work ethic in me and a toughness. He and Woody McCorvey, two of the most influential men I've ever had in my life.
Coach, how often do you catch yourself doing things or saying things that remind you of Coach Stallings?
All the time, about every day, about every single day.
In that type of voice?
Oh, no. No. Usually when I talk to my team and I'll say, hey, my coach used to say, and I'll drop one out for them. But we actually had a reunion with Coach Stallings back in May. And, you know, his grandson plays for me.
We've interviewed
which is pretty special to have him here, too. But we had a great reunion in Tuscaloosa back in May. And, you know, to get a chance to spend that couple days with Coach Stallings. I guess he's 82 now, 81, 82. And it was really awesome. To get all those guys back together and tell some of the stories, and you know, it was like 20 years never went by.
Jordan Leggett, a guy that last year you talked about how Leggett really turned the corner last year. How's that progression continued this year?
He's just been awesome. You know, Mackey finalist again this year. I thought he was the best tight end in the country.
Ladies and gentlemen, there is 1 minute remaining
he's
in
done
the
the things
Clemson
that he
media
needed to
session.
do to
1 minute remaining.
Help us have a great season, get back here, but also prepare himself to go be a great pro, which he's going to be.
Yeah, which I noticed you've been wearing the blocks he had lately. Is that kind of an homage to Danny Ford at all? Or?
No. What happened is they lost my one hat. Somehow, I don't know what happened. Abe didn't have my hat, and the new one that they had, I didn't like it. So he gave me the block Stephen trial, and I said, this one fits good. And we've been on a little streak, so I just kept wearing it. C for championship. That's what we're chasing.
Dabo, that was a great story about the clubs. Was that last summer when you saw Jim?
Past May, yeah.
Past May?
Yeah, and let me tell you, it was like 43 degrees in May in Chicago. Unbelievable. But they won the game.
One last question about Stallings. You'd like to dance with the players? I would love to see.
I saw Coach Stallings dance one time. We were getting ready to play LSU, and it was a tight game.
Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes today's media
We're all
day.
locked in.
For those members of the
And this
media
was back
who
in
took
the day. This was
transportation from the media
1990.
hotel, departures will begin immediately in the same location
It was
as
a tense
drop-off.
moment.
Student
And
athletes,
I think Coach
please
Stallings
return
kind
to
of
your
sensed it.
buses at this time.
And all of a sudden, he just
Ladies and
looked at
gentlemen,
everybody.
don't forget to pick up your
He was
free
always
Playoff
buttoned up
Fan
at
Central
times,
ticket
and he just kinda
upon
went,
exiting Emily Arena.
Like raise the
Playoff
roof,
Fan
you know, raise the
Central,
roof.
located at
Somebody
the
had
Tampa
taught him
Convention
that. I don't
Center,
know where he learned
is
that.
a fun-filled
And the
family
guys
event
just fell out.
with interactive games,
but
sponsor
what Coach
activities,
Stallings taught me
special
was to
guest
have fun
appearances,
winning. The
and
fun was in the
exhibits
winning.
celebrating
We
college
always
football.
celebrated winning. It didn't matter how we won. He taught me that. I don't care if you win 3-2 or 65, 64. Hey man, the fun's in the winning. And he taught that to me early on, and he's right. And the fun is in the winning, but it's also important how you win. And we focus a lot on that.
Thanks, Coach.